Okay, so we're just gonna go through how to submit your hack. You're gonna go to the HackHERS 2021 Devpost link. Hopefully you all have that. That's also pinned in the Slack. And you're going to click on Start Project. When you're here, if you have members in your team, you can like send this link to them, but it's no problem if you don't like do that immediately because you could always do this afterwards. But yeah, so right now I'm gonna skip step. I'm gonna pretend that I'm like actually submitting something, and let's say I worked solo. I'm gonna just skip this step and go to the project overview. So this is simple things like I'm going to model it off of an old project of mine. So I hacked something called Are You Restricted? And it's like a web app for things. This is really like short things. You don't need to put anything fancy here. This is just what will appear in the gallery to kind of hook people in. When you get to this part, these are all prompts that you could lean into. There are no real guidelines for this about thing, but like, excuse me. But I've noticed that like the more details you have, the better. It's always nice to see some kind of story with the process and like, sorry, excuse me. It's always nice to see the process with like how your project came to be and like the challenges you ran into and the tech you used and just an explanation is very nice to kind of tell people where you're coming from, what your project does, and why it's important. Here is also, this is straightforward. So just list the technologies you've used. And with this try it out link, you do need to include like a GitHub repo or some kind of site where you could view it. The code is most important, so have the GitHub there. And then you could also add several links. Say I have the GitHub, then I have like a presentation here, and then I have like a demo site. You don't need those things. It's just the code that we're looking for. But like, it's cool to see things like, fluffed up. Here is where you could add images if you so choose. So say you built a project that like, you didn't have time to like make it all fancy and stuff, but you had prototypes and you like had an image and an idea of what it would look like in the end, but it didn't end up looking like that. You could add things here like to kind of capture your end goal, or you could add other steps in the ideation process. I'm going to show you some examples of hacks I've submitted in the past to like kind of see what things you might want to put here. And then finally, the video demo link. There are various ways to upload videos. So if you have accounts with like any of these platforms, you could just paste them there. Also, Google Drive is an option. Just make sure you have the sharing preferences set to like everyone with the link. And just say like, I'm just gonna fill it in. Inspiration, woman supporting, something cool. And let's say I built this with Java. I need to include a link before I move on, so I'm just gonna use like this. I'm not actually gonna submit this because like it's a fake thing. So this part is optional. If you want to also upload your code as a zip file, that's you're welcome to, but it's not required. Yeah. Or if there are other files that you would like to include that you feel are necessary, go ahead and do that there, but again, not required. And then for here, you can pick whatever categories you want to submit your hack to. It's not recommended that you do like all of them because some people like have a project that they just did and they like kind of shotgun and submit to every single prize category, which makes it confusing for judges. So don't do that, and only like select the ones that you actually feel are fitting, So let's just say this is a political hack, and I'm gonna save and continue. And then once you're done, this is like one of the parts that makes judging easier. So these steps are important. So yeah, so after you've done this, you have included the code base video demo, and you can enter as many challenges as you like. So you're gonna go to this Google Sheets document, and this has all the team Slacks, or this has all the teams. And the way judging is going to work, the way the expo is going to work. It's very casual. So like, you're not going to be quizzed. Like judges aren't going to grill you on anything. It's just like, they might stop by to ask some questions, but don't worry, it's not like going to be a scary experience. But essentially, you are going to be with your group mates in your own Slack channel. And this is where we're keeping track of that. So after I submit, I go to this Google Sheets and I like say 41 is the next available row. I don't want to mess the count up here in case people are editing these, but like say I'm at 41. I would say team name is Sam and only Sam. And then I would, yeah, just there we go. And I would fill out all the categories here. So let's say like I wanted to submit to, well, I said I wanted to submit for the political one. So I would populate the categories here. And yeah, that would really be it. So if I didn't submit to anything, I could just put NA, but this is, fairly straightforward again. So after this, you want to go into Slack and do this. So, okay, yeah, I already filled out the next unclaimed row and I populated the items with like the necessary information. And then I'm going to go to Slack and I'm going to look up group 41. So these Slack channels are all created already. Actually, they're only created up to 40. So those like the 41 and above, like those are just like kind of placeholders. And if people are monitoring right now, so if people do reach that point, I don't know how many submissions we're gonna get, but like, those things will be created. But let's just say I'm group 40. So I would go to group 40, I would search it up in the search bar, do it, and like join the channel and then enter like claimed by group member. So like group claimed by Sam and only Sam. That's my group name. So, and that would be like my like booth in a way. So now when judging happens, people like judges or participants are also welcome to like explore projects and go to visit booths and stuff. So if anyone wants to visit your project in particular and ask your team questions, they can check this list. Like I want to check Amplify, and I could go to group 15 and ask them questions. Okay, so that's the rundown of like how this is going to work. But here are some examples if you are struggling and like, figuring out what to write in your Devpost submission. So this was something I submitted for HackRU. So they also included like required a video submission. So here's the video, and this is how it appears. So when you submit the actual link in the Devpost, it's always going to be the first thing that shows up here. It's going to like automatically import it. And then for us, our demo was like pretty short, so we felt that like it would be cool to just add the visual here, just pictures, so people could see what it like looks like. And then here's like, you click things and things happen. So you could add, I think, I don't remember what the limit is, but you could add a fair number of photos here. And yeah, you could just include whatever you want. And for inspiration, we just like kind of fluffed it up with like the, why we created this and why it's important and who it will affect. And with how it works, we go into depth with the actual tech we used. Also, after you submit, what's cool about Devpost is that you could kind of add your own things here. So if you add teammates, they will be able to join with their own Devpost accounts, and everyone will be able to kind of add a little blurb about what they built and like what they worked on specifically, which is cool. Here's another example. Oh, I see questions. I'm so sorry, I haven't had the chat open. Okay, no, okay, that was just for attendance. Cool. Ooh. And here's another example. So we had time to like do a whole presentation. This isn't required, but if you want to, go ahead. And with that, we have like, prototypes, mock-ups. The actual product didn't end up looking like this, but this is what we had in mind for the idea. So we just had a bunch of like, random screen caps of like things that we designed and had in mind. And did add a little more with the blurbs here, but yeah, this is pretty free form, so it's up to you what you want to like add. So that's essentially the end of the workshop. But if anyone has questions, I will stay here and you guys are free to ask. Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, if your code doesn't work, do not worry. It would be cool to upload a video. If anything, you could like make a short little presentation, like maybe like one slide, and just kind of lay out your ideas. If your code doesn't work and you can't actually give a real demo, it's still valuable to just tell the judges what you did and like why you did it. And even if you failed, like there's like a failed hack category. So yeah, definitely still upload a video just explaining like your thought process. Also during the expo, to kind of give more details to what that will look like. So after you claim your Slack channel, judging is going to start at 9 and it's going to go on until like 11:30. And it's going to be really, really casual. So as long as like one person is like kind of there and checking Slack messages every so often, you don't need to be there like, for the entire time, but just check messages and have someone be present in the Slack for the entirety of judging, just like, around, Uh, yeah. And so if we made a presentation already, can I just record myself talking over it? Yeah, you could do that. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording.